Bashers. Hey everybody, it is Dirk. It is iBashers. It is Wednesday, Grail Watch Wednesday. It's just a loose title, just to promote what might be your favorite wristwatch or your favorite dream, or it's vague, I know. Just trying to come up with cool, new, fun things for the show. Andrew Wolkowicz starts out the show with Canadian $5. Thank you so much for your support. Off today and looking forward to the show. Well, hey, you're here live. So listen, you've been number one pretty much every day this week, and you haven't gotten your iBasher of the Day song. So you're going to just have to send me, I think you told me you wanted Eve of Destruction. Eve of Destruction, tax deduction, city inspector, bill collector. I know the song very well. It was a song because, listen, I have a couple of tunes that I throw to people for the Basher of the Day thing. And I'm just putting on my Weekender, which clashes with my green screen, but that's okay. Because I really felt like saying thanks to Melly C and, you know, all the wonderful things that this show has afforded me. I'm just getting used to, been reading about this all day long. My new DJI Mic 2 system. Why won't that stay up? I don't know. Oh, it's magnetic. Well, that's very interesting. So we're going to do a walkabout, and it's probably going to be tomorrow. I'm going to put a little thing up on the channel for what you guys want, like where you'd like me to go tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some testing after the show tonight. I'm going to walk around my neighborhood and record some stuff just to see what the quality's like. I'm sure it's fantastic. But I have to see the difference because I've got this. This is a mic. This will clip right to here, and I should be good to go, right? But then the other option is, and I wasn't aware of this, that these two little lavalier microphones came. So I want to see the difference between this. So I'll pin that to see if it makes a difference. Whatever it is, it's going to be the best possible audio quality for all the bashers, and really cool. I'm very excited. It's very complicated because I'm so used to using my AirPods, which, as we all know, are great for listening to music, but suck in any kind of other configuration, especially when you're trying to do an HD show on the road with cellular service and stuff like that. It just wasn't working out for me. Plus, I've got not one, but two microphones and two lavalier mics. So if I have a guest or if somebody joins me on the walkabout, I'll have audio for both, which is very interesting because this little device, which is the receiver, just plugs right into your phone. In my case, it's an iPhone 14 Pro. Yeah, 14 Pro. And then it can talk. See, it's got little LEDs on there and tells you everything. I'm just getting used to the way it all works. It seems simple enough. Very, very involved. There's a lot of different variables. And what do we like? As the big guy always says, keep your variables down. So that's what we're going to do. Andrew, I owe you something. So every once in a while, I give, Andrew a song because I can't do it because he's every day. He's on fire. So I'll look into being able to do that song. Just looks like it might be a lot of musical stuff to get together. Maybe I could do an acoustic version of it. Maybe that would be fun. I don't know. But Andrew, thank you so much. And we start off with the super chat gong as we do for every show. Anybody who gets in there first with the super chat, and thank you so much. I'm enjoying some Kimbo coffee, not sponsored by the channel, even though they once sent me a box of free coffee. Somehow they heard I mentioned it. And since I'm a coffee freak, I would appreciate it if they sent me more. Let me do a commercial for you. I'd do it. Come on, I'm a small channel. And I'll tell you about that in a second. We talk about the growth of this channel all the time and how grateful I am for all the bashers. But there is this algorithm thing that kind of plays with me because I'm in such a small bracket of YouTube channels. Like, for example, the Trump Watch came out, and I think I was the first YouTube channel to break Donald Trump putting out a watch. There were no other things out there. It came out on the news, blah, blah, blah. I was ready to start bashers, and so I did. And then everybody did it, so it went everywhere. But I'm trying to learn what the best way is to get to the show to, the biggest audience I possibly can to grow the thing. So this can be more than just me coming in my room and doing thumbnails and doing walkabouts and stuff, trying to just generate a little bit more of a presence on YouTube. And Oshin was so right. He did a Trump Watch thing right after. Of course, it's a much bigger channel. He's got a much bigger reach. Blah blah blah. I'm small potatoes compared to all that. I understand all the. I'm very pragmatic about that stuff. But he did it, and it didn't have very many views. And then he changed the title, and it did better. And then he changed the title again, and then it exploded. And he's got like a viral video that went out about the Trump Watch, and he was definitely like right behind me, maybe maybe I think he was doing it while I was doing the show. So it was neck and neck, but obviously he's got a huge channel. He's been doing this a lot longer, and he's got a big presence and all that stuff. But trying to figure that all out. Also, YouTube just announced something very weird. It's called, and I don't see it. I don't see where it's available. So you guys, I don't do the big whole like and subscribe thing. I mean, if you could hit the like button, the thumb up button. What is it? The upvote button. I'd appreciate it very much because it really helps the algorithm. But apparently there's this new thing called YouTube Hype. And I got a message and it said, your channel is now eligible for YouTube Hype because you're a smaller channel and you have a devoted following. I'm like, I do. I have like the greatest bashers in the whole wide world. And I'm the only YouTube channel I think that the people who watch the show have a name. The Bashers, the Basharisti, the Bastardos, all that stuff, which is really cool because this is your show. I just host it. It's a show for all of us. And like things like little stupid things like this, because of your support, with super chats and PayPal and Patreon, I'm able to upgrade my show. So far, the only thing I started this show with was that microphone and this computer. That's the only thing I had when I started the show. I started out with a very good condenser microphone that I've had for over 20 years that I used to record my solo record with, the last Hitman record. It's a really great sounding vocal mic. It's the original Latvian one. I've had this forever and ever and ever, but everything else, brand new lighting. I got a brand new interface for my show. I got all these great things from the support of this amazing channel with the amazing people that watch it. So I thank you for all that. Now there's this new thing, and I was watching it. It's so excited. Couldn't wait to bring it to you and say, hey guys, thanks so much. Let's promote our show. And let's do that by hitting this new button that's called Hype. So when you're watching a show, or if there's a creator that you like, it's a little convoluted because it says for smaller channels under 500,000 subscribers. Now, I know YouTube's got plenty of channels that have subscribers that have millions and millions of viewers, because I watch a bunch of them. And there's a reason why these people are where they are. Great content. Some of them not great content. Some of them are drivel based, those people who sit around and just go, I'm going to check out this new jam by Beyonce. Yeah. And then they go, ooh, that kind of crap. I mean, that is, to me, that's not, creation. It's kind of just, I don't know. I guess it is. I guess everything's creation now. But some of those channels have big things. But I'm not going to be jealous, which was one of the themes of today. But that happens. I'll watch a lot of content and I'll get a little jealous and say, "Yeah, man, I work real hard for my channel, and I have the best possible audience, the best people. There's no douches and dicks in my gang at all. The Bashers are the best people ever." Thoughtful, careful, paying it forward, all that stuff. Like, it's a great thing. And I know there's plenty of us out there. Anyway, this new thing's called Hype. And apparently when you're watching a show, there's going to be a thing underneath when you hit the upvote button or the like button that's going to give you the ability to hit Hype. And you're only, any viewer is allowed to only give 3 hypes a week to their favorite content creators. And what that's going to do is it is going to it's this brand new algorithm that they've created for smaller channels under 500,000. I think 500,000 is crazy. I think it should have been maybe 15,000, 1 to 15,000, because that's a small channel. If I had 500,000, I would be doing commercials for coffee and whomever. Once you get to 10,000 subscribers, people start coming out of the woodwork and saying, hey, I like your channel. Would you like to spruik my watch? Or would you like to, you get to start integrating, things that help you survive and augments the 30% that YouTube take from your earnings and all that stuff. So I just think that was a stupid number, 500,000. It just sounds crazy. But then when you think about the landscape of what's out there, supposedly something like 350,000 hours of YouTube get put on there every single day. I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot. But anyway, if you ever see that thing, I'll talk about it more when I see it. I went on other channels to see if I could hit this hype button, and I did not see it. So they announced that it was available, and I don't see it. But, you know, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We're growing. We're growing. We're getting there. We're growing. We're growing. I want to take this show on the road, as they say, you know. This iBashers thing is has no limits. We can take it wherever we want to go. And I'm going to start doing, you know, regular content, you know, not live stuff. In addition, not going to stop doing the live show because I love it. It's my favorite part of the day. I look forward to it like nothing else. But I want to start adding some stuff, you know, and it'll be viewer driven. What you guys want to see, what you guys want to do, where you want me to go. I'll probably even do a couple of location shots that are not live things, because you know what, it kind of mixes and matches things up so people don't get bored, and I think that's really important. Vasilios P is in at number 1. Oh, you didn't get there at number 1, baby. You missed Andrew, and the reason why that happened, why you think that, you're number 1 in my book though, with your white Speedy there. It's because Andrew did that probably when I put the thumbnail up. And then when you go live, it just shows the one person. Good afternoon to all from Greece, Stuttgart. Good day, everyone. My Grail would be the Rolex 126610LB Cookie Monster. Oof, yeah, that's a great one. Let's take a look at that. Rolex. So everybody knows what we're talking about. Boom, 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 boom. It's not coming up. Oh, it's 6610. Wow. LB. Let's have a look. That is a beauty. It's a beauty. 1 in a million, girl. 126610. Did I not get that right? I did. Here it is. Let's go have a look. It is a beauty, man. It is an absolute beauty. Okay, let's have a look. This is Stuttgart's Grail watch. And then we'll go look at how much it's like. What's it going for these days? She's a beauty, man. Oof. You know, it's funny that watch doesn't get the love that, say, you know, the Sprite gets, or the Starbucks. And I hate that it's called the Starbucks. Isn't that crap? That is absolutely a beautiful iteration of the Submariner. You know, it might be the prettiest one that there is. I agree. I mean, some would say it's the root beer, but I have to say, I haven't really looked at this watch very much at all, and I wonder what that is. Let me go to Chrono and find out. Let me find out. Let's go have a look on Chrono. What are you going for? Why is it not coming up? Interesting. Why is that not coming up on Chrono? Interesting. Huh. Are there none on there? Is that what that's about? Wow. I love this watch, man. I'd like to get I want to get some pricing on it to see what it's going for these days, because we all know how that stuff goes. Let's see. 6610. Wow, I really can't find this at all. I've never seen that happen on Chrono. Interesting. Wow. I see it in gold only. I know you can't see the screen right now, but I'm only doing that because I want to find that exact watch. This is so weird. 126610 LB, yeah. 126610. Show all listings for that. Let's see. Let me show you this. So I don't want to bore the crap out of you. Okay, so here's where I am on Chrono. And let's see if we can find it. Why is that not here? Starbucks is going for 22,575. Remember when everybody was going crazy for the Kermit shebang-a-roonies, and then the Hulk one was the big thing, huh? Look, I can't find that at all. Is there a way for me to find that? Huh. That's weird. That's the right reference, right? 37.5. Okay, I found it. Okay. Let me show you. I found it, but it's not on Chrono, which I wanted to see what the how it's been doing. 1126619 LB. There you go. I had you gave me the wrong reference. Interesting. So this thing right now, Rolex Submariner white, gold, black bezel, blue bezel, Cookie Monster, 2024. 37.3. Yeah, well, that would make it a Grail watch. It's absolutely gorgeous. What that, dude, I think I'm in your camp. I'm sorry I spent so much time on one Grail watch, but that's what the show's about. It's your show. I just hosted. Look at this thing. Absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful Grail watch. Let me see if I can go back to Chrono and get that. Chrono 24. Yeah, that's what it's the wrong one. Okay, search Chrono for 1266619 LB. There you go. Here we go. All right. So yeah, $36,000. That's where it's going for. That is certainly worthy of a Grail watch moniker, Bruce Stuttgart. Ray says, I'm wearing mine, the Alsta Nautiscaf super automatic certified 1,000 feet stainless steel, watching my Holy Grail YouTuber. Aw, Ray, you're sweet. Number 4 at the door. I appreciate it. Let me go. You guys, let me know if you see somewhere in the when you hit like and subscribe, if you upvote for the channel, if it gives you an option right underneath that says hype. That's a brand new thing, and apparently everybody gets into this new algorithm per week, and what YouTube will do is they'll shoot you to the top of the smaller creators. I mean, listen, any port in the storm. Dean says, and Dean's got a lot of watches, and Dean's got a lot of I asked him, we've asked this, we've spoken about this before, and he says it changes, but here it goes. Ah, sweet. My new Grail watch this week has to be the Trump Town Pepsi. Yeah, right. Listen, we did a show on Watch Fashion Police where we covered all the Trump watches, and he just added a Pepsi to his arsenal. As we all know, these watches are not really in existence right now. Those are all factices. These are mock-ups. They're digital versions of, they're just mock-ups. None of these watches are going to look like that when and if is a big word, they ever get delivered. Who even knows? We all figured out that these are, a roundabout way for campaign contributions. You pay separately and then they'll fund the thing. And that's fine. It's capitalism. You do what you want to do. But we all know what that is. But these watches don't exist yet. So anybody who thinks that they're going to get it right away, I've been looking online and it says December probably. That's after the election, blah, 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 blah. And who knows what kind of hoopla is going to happen with that. I don't know. And I guess what you got to say about that is Carolyn Martin would say, who cares? Who cares? I don't care. Who cares? Drew and Vasilios, everybody's sending me Basher of the Day pictures. Oh, can't wait to see those. Melly C says happy hump day. It hates my Charlie Brown shirt. The green screen. I'm back to the green screen because I gotta sit for like 2 hours and work on my blue screen because my blue screen for like a day was working great and then I had to change a light bulb. You want to see something funny? I had to get some light bulbs. These are the light bulbs that power the YouTuberverse, the Basherverse. So you might find this funny. A little behind the scenes thing. Wait till you see this light bulb. So I've got these two light diffusers, and what they basically do is they just give me studio lighting, which is still a little bit harsh. This is the light bulb. I kid you not. I've got two of these, and one of them went out. And I guess the wattage was different. I didn't realize that I got the wrong wattage. Who knew that this bulb came in a variety? But it's called the Series photography lighting. So this thing is it messed up my blue screen, and it was looking so great because you could see my Milgauss and you could see green finally on the show. Whatever, it's stupid stuff, but I thought you'd think that's funny. Melly C, we love you. Daniel Gutierrez, Bashers, Dave Fahrenheit 451, upvoted. Thanks so much. Glenn Parker's here. Hello to one and all, and well done, Andrew. Always well done. Eve of destruction, tax deducting, see inspected, bill collectors, bound in your head, population out of suicide, too many bills, hippies moving to the hills. Oh no, that's Ball of Confusion, right? Is that what you wanted? Yeah, I don't know. I always loved that song. I don't have that kind of like black soul voice though. I was never I'm terrible at riffing and that kind of crap. I'm very much the white guy singer. Oh, white guy singer. I know so many guys like Colin from Mr. North who are like beautiful, like, he's really kind of more like a black singer, more like a soulful singer. He's got a lot of all the little riffy things that he does at the end because he was a big Stevie Wonder guy. Makes him a very, very special singer. If you guys haven't checked out Mr. North, I think you should. It's Usha's band and Emmett's band. They were, I like to say they were, and I hope they will be again, one of the greatest bands I've ever seen, ever. That's why we're friends, because I hate everybody, and I hate all the bands that I've seen locally. I'm like, ugh. I'm one of those guys, as musicians sit there and go, oh boy, that's terrible. Was really one of the most mind-blowing experiences walking into a bar and seeing this incredibly great band, great songs, incredible players. Each and every one of them is great, incredible at what they do. There's not a hole in that story. Not a hole in that story. Check it out. Hey, Bronson, it's Mart. Happy Grail Watch Wednesday to all the bashers. Sometimes you don't know what your Grail Watch is. Like if you take a guy like Angelo Minichello, who is an avid collector, and we are all avid collectors to some extent, aren't we? I have lots and lots of albums. I was at one time a vinyl collector. I am no longer that person. I was one time a CD collector. I am no longer that person. I still have these things. I don't sell or get rid of anything. It's just not my nature. I started going through guitars like a lunatic and learning as much as I can, because for me, I think it's mostly the collection addiction is rooted in me wanting to know, like watches, like I didn't know shit about watches and nothing. I didn't know anything at all other than what the famous brands were. I was privy to Omega first. I mean, of course I knew what all the other brands were. I've heard of them, but I didn't know where they fell on the hierarchy or any of that stuff. I appreciated all my father-in-law's Omegas, and I thought they were beautiful. Omega. And I always thought, sometimes I looked at it and said, oh, I'd like it to get into that, and I never did. But then the knowledge bug hit me. I wanted to learn about them, and he gave me a book on them, and that kind of started. And then Sheen started getting into watches, and then we started getting into it together. And he built this show and all that stuff, and I had a friend who was learning about all this stuff, so he passed the knowledge on. And, it's fun to learn new things with friends as well, especially to have a buddy that's into the same thing. And now, he drove his brother into it now. His Watch nerd constantly said we have our own little text thing just for it's about other stuff, but it's mostly just like a watch nerd thing about what's cool. I think that's what we're the that's why I don't have 50,000 colognes. While that and that's and it's the statement I've made here. We talked about it yesterday. I talked about it on Watch Fashion Police when I was on Timmy's show on Sunday. Or was it Monday? I think it was Sunday. While I have certainly accumulated some knowledge about fragrances because it's something I'm interested in. I have never had the need nor want to have 50 bottles of cologne or fragrance. I just don't. It doesn't feel like something because I personally, for me, feel like I only need 3. I have more than 3. I probably have about 15, but those are a lot of them are ones that just sit on my shelf to look really cool because I bought them and I didn't like them, or I bought them and it doesn't work for me. But for the most part, on my shelf, there's been 3 fragrances that have stayed there, and those are the ones that I will wear. That's 4711, that's M7, which is now gone, done and dusted forever, and Gucci Pour Homme, which I loved from way back in the day, and there's none of it left. So I am now I'm going to make a trip. What I'd like to do, and if does this sound interesting to any of you guys, if you're interested, when I do this walkabout, I'm thinking about going to Guerlain, which is a very French and very old French parfumerie, and one of the best in the world. It is not a designer fragrance. People like to lump it in there because whenever too many people get into a hobby, they tend to just like, it's like speed metal, death metal, power metal, progressive metal, instead of just like rock. Everybody starts putting all these different subgenres in. A designer fragrance is generally a designer, meaning, Bijan or Gucci or Prada or, Yves Saint Laurent or one of these. Those are designer fragrances, the people that do other things and now have started fragrance or have always had fragrance in their line. It's a designer is making a fragrance. Now, a place like Guerlain has been in the fragrance business from the get-go. That's like, you can't call Penhaligon's or so many other different companies, you can't call them designer fragrances. I would just call them parfumerie. And Guerlain is one of the best ever. A lot of people have been, a lot of good people, a lot of great people. Let's come up with as many adjectives as I have been wearing Guerlain. And I used to wear this stuff called Habit Rouge, and I have a little bit of it left, the original formulation on my shelf. And they just came out with a brand new version of that. I'm going to show it to you. This kind of, like the things that wet your whistle. And then you get a little like cuckoo for. So I'm thinking about going to Guerlain and checking out these new iterations of Habit Rouge, and I want to show you what they have a new woman named Jelk Kimelcier, I think it is. She has taken these old fragrances and she has brought them back. And look at this, man. She did a redesign on the bottle. Oof. Bonsoir, Monsieur Dirk and all the bashers. Alain Gerbert. Merci beaucoup. Let me get rid of that. We don't need the who cares because I care about this. I'm getting a little bit, hyped up on this beautiful new formulation of Habit Rouge, which is kind of a leather, oud, bergamot with a citrus note, which sounds straight. It sounds like what it used to be, but it sounds like they've changed the profile a bit. Now, if all those things are in there, I'm really, really, really super interested in it. And I want to go check that out. Habit Rouge. It's an homage to the equestrian art. Jean-Paul Guerlain created the first ambery fragrance for men and perfumery in 1965. Now, of course, they make Vetiver, which is one of the most famous fragrances ever. Now, this comes in a eau de parfum, a parfum. I don't think that they make, they do. They make it in an eau de toilette gift set, which is fantastic. But wow, they did a beautiful job. Look at that bottle. This is so watch chat. This is so, what people who love watches are into. Incredible. Amazing. Dirk Dig OC. Hey, buddy. I picked up a bunch of samples from that link that Tim sent. Tim had every fragrance I've ever heard of. I mean, and he went oud down the oud road. Now I've been wearing M7 since it came out in 2002, and I'm down to literally my last spray. There's nothing left in the bottle, and I'll be honest with you, you can buy it on YouTube in the original formulation for like $500, $600, $700. I refuse. I mean, it's not fair when you have a signature. And yes, it lasts for 2 years, but that's been sitting in the bottle for 22 years. You know, if it's not counterfeit. Now I've told you guys I've bought counterfeit Habit Rouge, and I bought counterfeit M7, and it's like, it's a shame because these companies, they discontinue fragrances, and they do it to try to kind of like Taylor Swift ticket, make things in demand, and then they bring it back. They did that. Paul wears Antaeus. They took that away for years and years and years, but it's so freaking powerful that he still had some left over by the time they got rid of it and reintroduced it, which is absolutely crazy. You know, it's absolutely crazy. Little shout out to my dear friend Meme out on the West Coast. She's pulling her head out of her computer screen, working with the really kind folks in the Carolinas, reconnecting them with missing friends and family for a little Dirk Bashers fix. What's the good word? Talking about paid forward, this is my lifelong friend who I've known since I was very, very young. She is a proud member of the Red Cross, and she gets deployed whenever there's an emergency, and especially when there's, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, wildfires, etc., you name it. Well, the world relies on the Red Cross. The world relies on those people who are, by the way, 100% volunteers. I'm sure their administration is whatever, but people like me are the people that volunteer their time out of the goodness of their hearts to pay it forward. So anytime you have an opportunity to say nice things about the Red Cross, or even donate to the Red Cross, I think it's totally worth it. I have, and we all should, because they do the work that needs to get done. When governments fail, when society fails its human beings, the Red Cross is there. The Red Cross is there. You've seen their symbol throughout wars. They're everywhere, and it's incredible. So thanks, me. Drew B says, I stayed at the Breakers in Palm Beach a couple of weeks ago. Aren't you fancy? A Guerlain store on site. Pretty swanky. Yeah. Do you know Guerlain has a Guerlain? Do you know what's a Guerlain? Guerlain. They have a spa here in New York City. I think it's is it at Bergdorf Goodman? It's somewhere fancy in New York City. And I was looking at the treatments there. The treatments are like $1 zillion. So, like, I have no interest in massage at all. Zero, zero, zero. No interest at all. Not my thing. I'm too Irish for that crap. I don't like it. I had a bad experience once a long time ago. I won't get into it, but it's horrible. No, it wasn't that. But they have like facials and de-aging, and they have olfactory. They have all these different things. I was looking at the menu going, wow, it's incredible. But the place is gorgeous. Absolutely looks amazing. Looks absolutely amazing, and I'd love to see it. One of these days I will, Drew B. Fancy you going in. Look where you're staying. Isn't that amazing? Dave Fitzsimon's like the thumbnail. I was so stuck on a thumbnail today because I come up with a new thumbnail every single day, and I don't know if I should just put the regular Bashers thing on there or come up with a play on words or whatever. I don't know. Who cares? Indiana Dirk and the Temple of Bashers. It's funny because I use ChatGPT to make those. And yeah, it's AI for any of you who don't know. You might not know. If I said that to Paul, he'd be like, what does that mean? And sometimes you run into trouble. Like I said, I'd like an Indiana Jones type character. He's in an Aztec temple, and he's gazing at something that's glowing because it's probably the Holy Grail or whatever. And it was like, I cannot do that to copyright infringement from Lucasfilm. I was like, all right. Girl with the wrench, Carolyn Martin. Hello, everyone. Hello, Carolyn Martin's in the room. Andrew Wolkowicz. I'm starting to really like the look of the Explorer 2 Black Dial. Me too. You know what? Everybody's crazy for the Polar. Oh, the Tudor Ranger. Oh, Andrew. Yeah. See, yeah. You know what? My Grail watches have always been, other than the CK2915 a Meg, which I'll never have. And I'm fine with that. I can't own David. I can't own the Night Watch by Rembrandt. Things that are, is that cliche that's one of my favorite paintings? It is, right? Everybody, I love art just like everybody. I live with an artist, a painter, an illustrator, and so I have a pretty decent education on art. I love crazy old triptychs. I missed a phone call. I missed my second phone call from Scotty Love today because I take a little. I'm an old guy. I like to take a nap in the afternoon after I have my lunch. And my lunch today was I was in the supermarket shopping for Rose yesterday. And what did I come across? A loaf of keto bread. And what does a person on keto want more than anything in the whole wide world? We want bread. And I want to toast it because it's just like bread is everything. Bread is my favorite thing in the world. Some people don't like it. I'm so jealous of people who say, I don't like bread. Oh, man, like a semolina loaf with seeded, oh, God, olive oil and salt or ricotta cheese on the top of that. Amazing. So I made a grilled cheese sandwich with keto bread, and it was not that terrible, but terrible nonetheless. So this is keeping you up to date on my keto journey. This is day 11. Day 11, and yeah, everything's good. Still in ketosis as far as I can tell. You use these little strips, and I weighed myself the other day, and it was like almost 15 pounds, which is very, very, very fast, and I don't recommend that. But I honestly stopped kind of eating because I was just so friggin' bored with the menu. And I was like making scrambled eggs and cheese, and it was just lettuce. I just got bored. So I was just skipping meals because I just didn't care. I was having one meal a day, maybe at, like a salad at night, because everything else is like, it's boring. So I don't think that's never really happened before. It's usually like 5 to 6 pounds in the first week. But I was like, holy snap. But I realized it was because I just wasn't really eating. And that's not healthy. And I don't recommend that to anybody. Listen, I've been up and down with my weight my whole life. My body wants to be 170 pounds. Like, that's just what it wants to go to. And I want to be 150 pounds because that's when my clothes fit and I look good. And I want to feel good. And if you feel good about yourself, you should do whatever it is you want. But just make sure you do it methodically. Make sure that you do it with caution and with knowledge. And don't do anything crazy like I have done in the past. Not necessary. Dave Fitzsimon says, great minds, Dino. Yeah, it's a great one. Carolyn, how are you feeling? She's convalescing. She's like, she's getting there. She had it done and she's, got her cast, and we didn't talk today, but we talk most days, and she's bored. Sorry. Call me anytime, honey. The thumbnail makes me think of Dirk being sneaky at the Vatican archives. I'd love to. Wouldn't you love to be at the Vatican at night? Just make your own tracks and walk around there. It'd be amazing. Dean, what color am I thinking of? David, red. Jocelyn, Bittenbender, afternoon bashers. Hope you're all having a great Wednesday. Pretty good. I'm hyped up on coffee. Drew B is sending me out some coffee. 21st leg. And it's his favorite coffee roast. So I can't wait to taste it because I love to know what you guys like. I get to see it on the show. Sometimes I get to wear it on the show. And sometimes I get to taste it. And I'm going to be able to do that. What a privilege to know you. Glenn Parker says that, Dean, 100%. Andrew Olgovich, Dirk looks pale, sick or lighting. I could easily do something like this, which is ridiculous. I could just do this, right? And it'll give me some color, right? How about that? It's just, I'm being blasted by white light. That's what it is. Snap, I'm wearing the same watch. Hey! Well, I wonder where I got this from her. Dean says AirPods suck, all Apple. I you know what? I don't agree. I think, listen, when you're talking about, you know what, I will never forget when I couldn't wait to buy those Bang & Olufsen headphones, the ones that fold over here. And I do have them, but I know where they are. I have this giant desk in my studio. It's gigantic. It's probably 5 feet wide and about 3.5 feet deep. It's a giant desk. My computer, all my stuff is on it, right? There is a chasm behind the desk where things have fallen. Now, behind there is this giant case where my fully weighted 88 key keyboard that I used to tour when I played with keyboards live with Hitman would sit. And I have the piano is in the case in the back, but there's millions of things. If I ever took that thing out, I would find all that stuff. Those Bang & Olufsen headphones sucked. They were so bad and they were so expensive. When you're listening to music, the AirPods sound really cool. They have that, I'm not into spatial audio or 5 or 7.1. I just like a nice stereo recording. And they sound good, but and they sound good when you're on phone calls. They serve a purpose. They're not for like high fidelity or any of that stuff. Of course they're not. Who knows? Who knows? Andrew says, now Dirk can interview every cat and dog he passes, and I will. Damn it. Kevin Hawthorne, paying it forward in Lakeland, Florida. Great to see you, Kevin. How are you? Dean says, that's a good song, Dirk. Andrew, he is hot. He is on fire, people. So I was talking to Gene last night, and he's like, we got to do a covers circuit since we're retired now. And I'm so bored. And since Soul Station wasn't really doing so well, I said, what songs should we do? We should do a Beatles record. Because that's how arrogant Gene Simmons is. He'd be like, I think it's time for us to do a Beatles record. I'll be John and you can be Paul. Carolyn Martin at Andrew Wolkowicz. Better, thank you. One day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time. I think Alan Thicke wrote that. Remember Alan Thicke? That really shitty. Who's that R&B? His son is like a terrible musician. Robin Thicke. Ugh. But his dad was amazing. He was on a big show called Growing Pains, which we were all obsessed with. That guy was a big songwriter, wrote The Facts of Life, and I think he wrote the theme from The Golden Girls. Amazing. Dirk's channel is so small, it's almost like he's getting stuck in a closet. Stop, I'm stuck in a closet. Oh, man, please. Dean says, just put Rolex sex money laundering in the thumbnail. Oh, my God. Tomorrow, Dean, the show's name is going to be Rolex sex money laundering. Thank you for the title. That's what it's going to be tomorrow. You know what? And that's going to be the thumbnail too. That's why I love you guys. Helping the channel every way you can. I had a dream about Dirk. I have issues. He got a car like the Monkey Mobile and used it for I would do that. I would do it. I do it in my Cyber Beast. Gabri says, ABT, all these views. A Sheen video, ABT Trump got 435 views. His second ever viewed video. Is that? No. He's got one that's worth $1 million. But God almighty, I think any other of his clips is 100 times better than this Trump one. It's all nuts. Agreed. He knows that. We all know that. I mean, he makes epic cinema. There's one thing that, and no one could ever say about his work is that it's cinema. When the guy stays up for months at a time editing one-man show. I've said this a million times about him. He's up. He'll text me at 3:00 in the morning because he knows I'm up, and I'm like, what time is it there? Because he's up editing a video. It looks like film, like it was shot by Janusz Kaminski and Spielberg. Some of his work it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with quality. It's just hype and bump and pop and crap and blump and blump. I mean, look, that girl was screwing in light bulbs and putting clothes, hanging clothes on a clothesline in Italy, and she was from like Virginia. She's like, oh, it's so Italia is crazy. We've been in Italia now for about 6 months, and it's so different here. Some of the things that they have, we don't have in the United States. And, I was just looking to get a bottle of this. And, I'm like, and she's cute. And don't get me wrong, she's lovely. She's a Southern lady. And, but like she's not doing anything. She's not going anywhere. She's hanging clothes, and she's talking about, she bought one of those dollar houses, and I think that was the hook. I bought a dollar house in Italy. If I do buy a dollar house in Italy and I put that in my thumbnail, people will start watching it because they'll be, look, I bought rubble, and I'm going to go into $500,000 in debt. Dean says, Andrew, it sounds like Mario Land. It's true. Hey, Steve Zaleski. Good evening, Dirk and all the bashers. Okay, so my Grail is a Pepsi. Okay, yes, I know. Don't hate me. Nobody hates you. Pepsis are beautiful. I've always wanted one from way back before the hype and the prices. There, I said it. Don't you wish now you bought one before the hype and all the prices? I'm sure that you do. And which one, though? Like 1675? That would be where I would go, because I love the old anodized aluminum bezels. I'm not a big ceramic guy, except I do like the look of the 126619 blue bezel. That thing is gorgeous. You guys ruin me every single day. Don't be Steve. You like what you like, man. That's what you like, and that's what you like, and that's fine. You also had a dream about a Sheen walking around Venice with a kitten on his shoulder like an Irish pirate. Yeah. He might do that. Number 2. That's funny. Cookie Monster, you were number 2, 100%. Cookie Monster is beautiful and way below retail now. Isn't that crazy? Below retail. Oh, boy. Yeah, Dean says it's nice, but it's $30,000. Hey, Manny, Miami Manny, talk about handsome. You and the dog. Cheers, Dirk and the Bashers. Cheers to you. I like the blue more than when it's done in green. I agree. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And with the white gold, even if they made that in stainless steel, would that be the most beautiful thing you ever saw in your entire life? Would that be incredible? They should. I don't know. Maybe they do, and I don't know it. It's possible. I don't know everything. Make sure chrono settings is set to watches. What do you mean? Is there another thing on Chrono 24? Well, you know what it is. You know what it is. I use the Chrome. Chrono. I use the Chrome browser for the show, and it is not something that I use normally. I'm a Mac guy, and I use Safari. So I'm going to go in here now, and I'm going to go 1-1. No, it's 1-1-2-6-6. We're back to it. We're back to it again because it's interesting. 1-9 LB. That's what we want. And I'm logged in so I can see what the price features are. Why didn't I do this before? More details about the condition. Okay, now I can do it this way for all of you Basharisti. Do they sell things other than watches? I don't know. Window. There it is. See, I use this. You guys can see what I'm doing now, right? Okay, good. No, that's not what I want. Is it? That is, yeah, it is. Chrono 24. Let me go back. Yeah. Okay, this one's 43,000, but I can go down here because I am a subscriber to Chrono 24. It was selling in 2020 for 46. It went up to 51. Stayed around 51, then just started dropping. 43. It is now selling for, on average, $36,704. That is the average price on that. And there it is. Absolutely beautiful. Oh boy, look at this. It's going to show you. Is it going to click? Look at that. There's an Ultraman. There is an Ultraman on Chrono 24 for 50 grand, 47,000. Where'd they get that number? For those of you who don't know, I'm sure you all know. Look at that. This is a ST14501267SP from 1967. This watch was made as an homage, and it was taken up by this show, this Japanese anime show. No, it wasn't even. It was people dressed in costumes, and that became the watch of the show. And then they reissued it later. It wasn't called the Ultraman, obviously. Now it's called the Ultraman. But look at that! Look at that flat link bracelet. Oy, oy, oy. This is certainly a Grail watch for me too. An Ultraman. Look at this. An extract from the archives. Unbelievable. Yeah, look, they just call it the 145012, right? With the 321. I mean, unbelievable. Oh, this one's from 68. Okay. Unbelievable. That's its provenance. Amazing, right? Incredible. So many watches out there for everybody to get crazy. But you know what? I digress. It's time for the Gallery of Bastards, isn't it? My God, I've been going on and on forever and ever. The Gallery of Bastards. The Gallery of Bastards. Send me the shots, the sublime, the absurd. The Gallery of Bastards. You share them with me, and I share with the world. Andrew Wolkowicz told Morgana to get out of bed. Get out of bed, his beautiful kitty cat lady. She says, I don't want to get out of bed, Daddy. How could you? I would never remove a cat from where they are slumbering. But that bed does look super duper comfortable. Oh, she's a beauty. She's 1 in a million, girl. She's 1 in a million, girl. She's gorgeous. Morgana guards the sun. Oh, you guys, you have that. They have that one spot that they look forward to every day, and so did Laverne. Beautiful babies. Look at you. Trying to find, you got to take those panes out of the window so they have nice big. They have uninterrupted sun. Oh, look at her. Man, cats love the sun more than anything in the whole wide world. They love basking in it. It's their favorite thing in the world. They know where they get their vitamins from. Look at her. She's so pretty. God bless, man. God bless you. Absolutely incredible. Beautiful cats. The beautiful cats. Angelo Minichello. Certainly not in the necessary category, he says, which is great. We collect things. We like things. We buy things. We do things. He curates things. Look at this thing. Holy macaroni. Wow. Isn't that cool? Who's this guy over here? That looks like Paul. That's what he kind of looks like. Look at this wall of fame. This your people? Incredible. I'm more interested in that because I'm more interested in you. Look at this. This is cool. Wow, look at that. That's gorgeous, Angelo. Such a unique presence on this show. His taste is just, new stuff all the time. Very interesting stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, Seiko Grand Quartz just arrived from Japan. It's in great condition, and it's Marit. Let's have a looky poo. Wow. Look at that. Okay, look at that bracelet, man. That's cool. Oofa. That is so beautiful. You watching that, Millie? Wow. Look at that dial. Seiko, you never cease to amaze me. Look at that. That is so gorgeous. Man, the indices and those hands and that dial. This is a beauty. Look at the subterranean crown there. Look at that thing. That is a sexy beast. Absolutely a sexy beast. Wow. Oh, and here's his look at that. Seiko Grand Quartz. Look at the dial on that thing. Holy crap. Man, Seiko and dials, man. Seiko and dials. Amazing. Wow. That is absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous. Thank you so much for those. So beautiful. What a great thing to see on the show, Mart. Then you've got that's a Peter Gabriel video. That's a real thing. Grail Watch. I have a few Rolexes to date. However, I'd swap my kidney. Oh yeah, the John Mayer. I remember when he said it, dude. I remember the day he said it. John Mayer was being interviewed by like Hodinky or something. He said, blah, blah, blah. This watch is so beautiful. It should have a bigger following. The next day, people were calling it the John Mayer, and then it just exploded. And listen, I'm a speedy guy and not much of a big aficionado of the Daytona, but that's a very beautiful watch. I mean, that dial is just unbelievable. It's gorgeous. I get it. That's going for a whole lot of dough, pal. Yeah, that's the Grail watch. That's a crazy watch. That's going for a whole lot of money. Oh boy. Manny Perez, he says, Dirk, here's my Grail watch, the Historique Grand de Vache, 1955. Oh man, oh Shavitz. Let's take a look at that. Hold on. I might as well just pull it up because he sent me a link. So I might as well just pull it up for you on the link site so you can see what that looks like. One moment, please, for an operator that can assist you. Here we go. Sure. I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. Wow. Look at this thing. I'm in Vacheron, man. You can't. Vacheron's incredible. 64 grand. Absolutely beautiful. 38.5 millimeters in pink gold. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Now, look at that movement. Look at the Maltese cross in the movement. Holy smokes, Rooney. I mean, this is just, this is just horology from a different stratosphere, man. This is just a totally different beast. That is absolutely insane with that brown leather strap. This guy's got a lot of layers on. Oh, man. Look at this thing. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you have bad taste. Holy crap. Look at this thing. Wow. This is just unreal. Look at that thing. Yeesh. That is gorgeous. Let's blow it. Can we blow that up more? No, we can't. That's as big a blow up as we're going to get. That's gorgeous, man. Of course it is. Wow. Wowie. Wowie. Yeah, we could go on and on and on about that, couldn't we? For sure, because that is beyond beautiful, man. Thanks for sharing that, Manny. And that is a Grail watch. But your Grail watch can be in any price point. It could be anything. Just don't make sure it's not Hublot, because those are so stupid. When I read the mission statement of the guy that used to work for Omega, and he said, we're going to chase after AP, the Royal Oak, and we're just going to make a really crass. He said that. He said, we're going to make a crass version of the Royal Oak, and he did. Facilio says, which one? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Choices. Choices. Oh, boy. There you go. Looks great on you. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh. Wow, that's hard. I mean, you got the red pip on that one. That's tough. I mean, I love the vintage. They're both vintage, though. Look at that, because they're both pre-ceramic, right? Wow. Man, this is tough. This has got some serious patina going on there. And there's the clerk, like, make a decision, mister. Wow. This. I don't know. That's a tough call, man. Tough call. Did you pick one? Let us know. Guys, you decide, one or two. I don't really know. It's tough to describe. From Mr. Cilios. Oh, did he pick one? Oh, here's another one. Okay. No, I'm going to say absolutely not on this one. Nope. Too many going around. It's too many out there. No, I think you're more... I would say two over... I don't know. I would definitely say no to this one, because there's too many of them. It's a beautiful watch, but I wouldn't go in that direction. But it's beautiful. Nonetheless, it's beautiful. Drew, my Grail, 23 Submariner. You can have more than one Grail, right? This is one of my Grail watches. Put it on my list at the AD, and I received it 1 year later. Oh, you own it. Well, sir. Listen, I have one of my Grails too, so, hey. Your Grail can be the one you own, isn't it true? It doesn't have to be. You don't have to make up a new Grail. That's terrible. That's like, falling in love and, getting married, and then a couple of years later you have another Grail wife. No, that's crazy town. And man, that sits on you right. That watch sits on you right. And he got it at the ADA. Look at that. Monstrous. Look at that. Beautiful. Crazy Drew. Crazy Drew B. Crazy. Mart says, hey, Dirk, watching your show, and the first 10-minute photo of the Wizard Nebula just came through my telescope, which will be running till early hours. Plenty of coffee. This guy, he's got a freaking crazy, Our Beautiful Martin Bronson. He takes, astrophotography. This guy is unbelievable. He's got this amazing telescope with all the software. Not only does he have Bronson, but he's got this, and look what's happening. But it takes hours and hours and hours and hours of exposure for this to happen. Look at all the crazy stuff. Look what goes on in the Basher world with you guys. You guys are nuts. Let us know. Send us the pictures the second you're done with that, man. Very excited to see that. Because, I love all that stuff. My entire life is just looking at, every single night I have my little iPad on the headboard. And if I'm done with it, I just finished, I'm listening, I'm doing the Neil Peart from Rush, the drummer from Rush, who is also incredible, one of the smartest people in the world, one of the biggest brains, and eventually his brain is what killed him. He had glioblastoma, which is the worst thing you could possibly get. And it seems like, of course, his brain killed him because his brain was working so hard. He wrote several books, and I read them all, but now I'm listening to the audiobooks. And the first two I just went through, he did not narrate, but the guy sounds like him, which is kind of cool. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Gallery of
The Gallery of Bashtards. Send me the shots, the sublime, the absurd. The Gallery of Bashtards.
$1.99 super sticker. Thank you, pal. Everything helps when you're building a YouTube house of cards, man. Coming in here every day trying to make it happen and pay the bills and all that stuff. I appreciate it so much. It's very strange. It's almost like being like you're out there with like the Salvation Army Cup, but you know, it is what it is. And I'm so grateful for any and all. Like I said, man, I just got this stuff. I can't wait to bring you new content. So I'm going to give you some cowbell. Rufus says, my first chiropractic visit nightmare. They attached a muscle stimulator to me after they told me to strip down and put on a towel. The stimulator machine started shocking me and I jumped up as, oh man, that's scary. I'll tell you, you know what? I had a massage like 25 years ago when I was a kid. I went to this famous place and I got folliculitis from it. Apparently, the masseur had something on his hands, like he touched something that had bacteria on it, and it was on my leg. And I had to go on antibiotics for a month because it like got in every single follicle in my on my leg. It was gross. It was absolutely gross. And yeah. So yeah, I don't like it either. And I did like the chiropractor. I do love getting snapped and all that stuff. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah. Steve Skolitsky says, ideally a 1960s Pepsi, but I'd make do with the ceramic. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, you can have the ceramic. I just don't like, it's too bold. The colors are too bold. Too bold. I did. You know what it was? I wasn't logged in and it didn't like me. That's why. Yeah, it's a full white gold sub. It sure is, Gene says he can get a better deal on that watch, 30K pound. Yeah, but you know how much 30,000 pounds is? It's like $40,000, isn't it? How much is 30,000? Somebody do the math on that. 45,000 was the highest price the Cookie Monster paid in 2022. Andrew has a question. The Tudor Ranger is about half the price of a Rolex Explorer 1. Is it considered half the watch? I think it's cool looking. No, it isn't, dearest Andrew. Rolex is Rolex, and Rolex is like on the stock market as a commodity. It should be, it's like the price of gold. Rolex is the gold standard of watches, even though they're not the best watches horologically or design wise. There's far better, smaller brands, but Tudor is Rolex. It's a subsidiary of that company, and the quality of their watches is A1. It's just as good as Rolex. What's in there? They're beautiful. The design language is very, very similar. It just doesn't have the cachet of the name. The Tudor Ranger is a beautiful watch, and sure, it's half the price of a Rolex because Rolex is a super premium. It's the most recognizable luxury brand in the world. Mercedes-Benz, and I believe it's Mercedes-Benz and Rolex are the two most famous. That's a really interesting thing to look up. What are the most recognized luxury brands in the world? Let's see. And then I'll pull it up. The 10 most popular. I don't want that. I want recognition. Luxury brand ranking. That's a lot of crap. I want a list. Most regular. Show more. I hate this new thing. It's like AI. Now when you type in on Google, it does an AI thing first. I don't really want that. Anyway, let's go to Forbes. Okay, I'll show you guys that. I'll bring that on in screen. Okay, let's go do a little ranky. I don't want that. So you're gonna make me subscribe? Don't make me do that. Come on, go to hell. Number 5 is Hermes. Number 6 is what's number 1? Chanel's 3. Gucci's number 2. Thank you, Tom Ford. Number 1 is Christian Dior. Is that true? I don't know if that's true anymore. Oh, this is 2022. This is weird. I'm sorry I even bothered going to I have the New York Times. I subscribe to New York Times, but I don't subscribe to Forbes. Why in the world would I subscribe to Forbes? It's a great watch. No hype button here. There would be We Bastardos. No hype. Shite here. Thanks, Ray. Time Fly says, gee, Dirk, get a light bulb. Dean with a £4.99 towards your electric bill. Thanks, pal. That's amazing. Super Chat Kong 2. Drew B says, "Good question, Andrew. How do you feel about the upside down 6 for a 9?" That's very interesting too. You never cease to amaze me with your language, which you know. You know a lot of stuff, Mr. B. Pink Floyd just sold their music catalog to Sony for $400 million. Did they really? Oh my god! Suv, $400 million. Oh, is that the biggest ever? Is that on let me see. Pink Floyd. So many things to look at today. Pink Floyd news. Okay, there it is. There it is. Wow. Well, this is what they all do now. Like they weren't worth enough money already. Pink Floyd sells music rights to Sony for $400 million. So now it's going to be Coke, 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 Coke or Pepsi. Well, tell me which cola's the best of them. After Use It Full starts, the British iconic Pink Floyd has agreed to sell their music and name likeness to Sony for 400 million balloons. Notably, chief songwriters Roger Waters and David Gilmour also invited. Okay, this is interesting. Let's see. The deal, one of the largest in many recent years, apparently it has finally concluded. Well, they hate each other's guts because Rogers. I don't know. I don't even know. I just know that David Gilmour needs his wife to shut up because she says a lot of very stupid things. Roger, is as a staunch defender of Palestinian people and their rights, and he is often portrayed as an anti-Semite, which he isn't. But sometimes, as he got older, he just got really grouchy. They hate each other, but they got together. We got to see Pink Floyd get together in full at Live 8 in 2008. Also involved drummers Nick Mason and the estates of keyboardist Richard Wrights and founding singer-songwriter Syd Barrett. He only appeared on their first album, Syd Barrett. There's a lot of mystique around a guy that was only on for one record, but his ethos, everything about that guy, lived with them forever and ever. And they wrote "Wish You Were Here" for that guy. So I don't know how they're going to split this because Roger wrote most of it. David certainly was involved in his fair share of it, but wow. So whose catalog was bigger? Was Queen's bigger? The catalog has been played for several years with a reported asking price of $500 million. The group, but a bitter infighting between. Listen, look at that infighting between them, those guys. Okay, over Roger Waters' controversial political. Yeah, he does have some pretty stupid ideas about Ukraine, and I don't agree with him there. But we can all agree to disagree. Okay, he has to bring up all of that crap. Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah, okay, so it's getting into that whole nonsense thing with those guys, and that's not necessary. But oh wow, that's amazing. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. Of course they did. Why wouldn't they sell the rights? Because it's, that's what guys, older rock and roll stars are doing when they get older. It's time for them to sell their catalogs. Queen did it. And, and I've seen 50 million new commercials now. It's not even funny. Barry Maguire, Eve of Destruction. Oh, I was thinking of Ball of Confusion. Eve of Destruction. The Eastern world is exploding, violence flaring, bullets flying. You're old enough to kill it, but I have to look. I don't know. Do I know the song Eve of Destruction? Eve of Destruction. No, that's Ball of Confusion. Okay, I have to look that up. I don't know the song. Interesting. Drew says, Drew, I'm flexible. Kaloy in the room. Cheers, everybody. And hello. Drew B says, that's the only thing about Ranger I can't deal with. It's an absolute bargain, though. It is a bargain. It is indeed. Yes, she votes for a trip to Guerlain on the walkabout. I'm going to do it. Guerlain is the best, says Vasilios P. There's a lot of chats here. I'm so sorry I didn't get to so many of them. I picked up a bunch of samples from that link. I do blonde. Oh, I did see that earlier, though. Okay, because I jumped ahead. It's not a Grail watch for Glenn Parker, but more of a dirty secret. But I do like the Oyster Perpetual 41 Celebrate. I like it, too. There's no reason why you shouldn't like that. Wow. That's amazing. Mimi says that 90% are volunteers for the Red Cross, but you know it. Mimi. Love you. Totally on the same page. Would totally buy at retail if given the opportunity. Yeah. Oh, that's unbelievable. Amazing. What's going on here? Mimi says, did I miss the context? Dave's Killer Bread is very satisfying on keto after induction. Oh, is Dave's bread good? I've never tried it because those commercials with the guy with the guitar turned me off. But is it good? I see it all the time. Melly C says, hey, Mame. Hey, Melly. I love that we can do that here. It's pretty cool stuff. Now I'd never see a massage therapist. There's too many creepy things. Can I be honest with you? This is kind of personal, but can you handle it? I've just heard, as a bartender in New York City, I've heard way too many stories, and this is not in any way to say anything about the massage community, but I've just heard one too many creepy stories about massages gone left to right, and I don't even like the idea. The concept of it freaks me out. It's just horrible. But I'll tell you a funny story. Like, I have a couple of sad sack guys that used to come into my bar, and I knew them for ages. And one of them was a hypochondriac, and he used to go to what's known as a rub and tug. I'm such an ass. I can't believe I said this. But anyway, he used to go, Dirk, dear Dirk. He would do that all the time. I have this problem. I'm doing this. And I'm like, stop doing that. He's worried about catching something from an erotic massage. I don't like the idea of erotic massage at all because I'm Irish and I just don't want anyone to touch me. It's that simple, except a cat or a dog. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And then we were flipping around on YouTube earlier and we were watching, I love Bold and Bankrupt and all those people that travel and see all this skanky stuff and fun stuff. There was this guy and he was in Thailand and he went to this hotel or something. And there was like a menu and it was a whorehouse. It was a brothel with very, very descriptive things on the menu. And I thought, oh my God, that's horrible. Absolutely horrible. It's just she's late. Sorry, I'm late. Did I miss anything? You missed everything, buddy. It's just she. I would love to get an Omega Seamaster Sapphire sandwich as my next watch. And you should, and you can. It's totally doable. Totally doable if you look around. Look around. Is this the end you've foreseen? The pain, the misery, and a soul. Super sticker, another super sticker for $1.99. Thank you so much for that, Cabal2. And Nathaniel Hannon, I have the sneezels. Oh, what's the matter with you? Listen, guys, COVID is going around again. And even if you, you think that the earth is flat or, John F. Kennedy Jr. is still alive or whatever it is, COVID is a real thing. I know 6 people who died from it. So, including the very last person I served at my job of 24 years, George. Spent the whole afternoon together with that guy, and I took a picture of him because I had just met him. He was friends of a friend, and they came in to see me. Here's my COVID story. The date is March 12th, 2020, and I'm at the bar. Everybody's scared shitless. We're probably going to close. It's probably going to be the last day. The next day was. And my friends Kate and Carl said, our friend George is coming in from South Carolina. He's going to be earlier than us. Can you keep him company? I'm like, absolutely. Met this guy, George. He sat in the corner. He was a lovely fellow. We just talked and talked and talked. And I'm on the bar like this, having a great time. Everything was amazing. Kate and Carl show up. They're the only customers I have. And then they leave. And then, everything shuts down. I get a call from Kate. She goes, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm okay. She goes, both Kate and Carl and I have COVID. And I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. They're like, George is in intensive care. He's on a respirator and he didn't make it. And Kate and Carl got very, very, very sick. And that was the first of the 6 people that I knew. And thankfully, Kate and Carl are okay, but Carl had long COVID. It really bothered him for a really long time. So it is a real thing. So please, it's going around again. I'm not telling you whether or not you should get vaccinated if you want. I do not currently have the current vaccine. I had 5 of the other ones. I'm considering it because I'm a little afraid of what's going around there as I get older. But I just had the shingles vaccine. And, it knocked me on me arse and I didn't enjoy it at all. Andrew says, upvote everyone and make sure you're still subscribed. Please do that. Just upvote and make sure you're subscribed. If you are, it helps out with the thing. If you ever see that hype button, don't be afraid to give me a hype. I'll hype you. You hype me. I hype you. You hype me. Little Peter Frampton. Yeah, it would be, I'd be grateful. I'm gonna probably do a walkabout tomorrow, as long as I get all of my head around how all this beautiful stuff works. Thanks once again to all you beautiful bashers for your contributions, super chats, PayPals, all the stuff you do on Patreon for me. I'm grateful. I'm able to, eke a living out of here right now. I'm not moving to Bel Air, but I'm able to do the show full time. I'm able to have a free schedule to take care of Rose and work on the show, and that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And in what other future music I might be making, I'll have the free time to do it, and I won't be at the beck and call of some evil witch that I was at her beck and call last year. So I'm grateful so much. Everybody, a shout out to Aaron O'Malley, who is under the weather in Vienna. Please send your well wishes out to him, because we love him. He's the big brother, the eldest of the O'Malleys. We love you, Aaron. We hope you're feeling better. We hope everything's on the up and up and all that stuff. Nathaniel Hannon, who's got the sneezies today. Anybody who's feeling under the weather, please shout out to all of you. And we love you so much, man. That's the show. Thanks so much. Thanks for joining me on this Grail Watch Wednesday. We talked about a lot of fun stuff, so a lot of beautiful watches, guys. Thank you. I can't thank you enough for being the most beautiful crew in YouTubedom. Completely the best that there is. Guys, remember to hold the door open. Always say please and thank you. And remember, if you encounter unkindness, you can't always know what that person is going through. They just might be having a bad day. Either that, or they're just a
Basher.